Welcome back to Power Ride, the channel where we take you deeper into the automotive world than anyone else dares to go, uncovering not just the shiny surfaces and polished brochures, but the real DNA of cars that define generations. Today, we are diving into one of the most legendary names in the SUV world, a name that carries decades of history, rugged durability, and a reputation for conquering the toughest terrains on Earth. This is not just another SUV, this is the 2026 Toyota Land Cruiser, reborn, reimagined, and ready to shock you with details you have never heard before. Stay tuned, because halfway through I'm going to reveal the price, and trust me, you will be shocked. So don't even think about skipping ahead, because the twists in this story are just as important as the destination. The Land Cruiser is not just a vehicle, it's a cultural icon. Since its inception back in the early 1950s, the Land Cruiser has been a story of resilience, survival, and trust. Soldiers, explorers, desert dwellers, and even governments have relied on this beast to get them across impossible terrains where most vehicles break down. It's been a lifeline in Africa, a desert king in the Middle East, and a loyal companion in the Australian outback. Generations have passed, but one truth has remained. If you want a vehicle that will never leave you stranded, you buy a Land Cruiser. But in 2026, Toyota has done something radical. They've taken this proven formula and injected it with a dose of futuristic technology, luxury, and yes, shocking performance upgrades that put it in a league of its own. Let's begin with the design, because that's the first thing you'll notice. At first glance, you'll realize that Toyota hasn't abandoned the soul of the Land Cruiser. It still looks rugged, still looks purposeful, but now it carries a futuristic boldness that screams confidence. The front fascia is dominated by a colossal grille, flanked by ultra-slim LED headlights with dynamic daytime running lights that cut through the darkness like laser beams. It's aggressive, but refined, a perfect mix of intimidation and elegance. The hood carries sculpted lines that speak of power beneath, while the sides are more aerodynamic than ever before, yet still upright enough to keep that boxy Land Cruiser silhouette that fans adore. The wheels. They range from 19 inches in base trims to massive 21-inch alloys in the premium versions, and these aren't just for looks. They're built to handle rocks, sand, snow, and city boulevards with equal ease. Swing around the back, and you'll find LED taillights connected by a sleek bar, a power tailgate, and subtle chrome accents that elevate the SUV from rugged to luxurious. But of course, design is just the surface. What really makes the Land Cruiser a legend is what's under the hood. And here's where Toyota has delivered a masterstroke. Gone are the massive V8 engines that defined the older generations. Instead, the 2026 Land Cruiser comes with a new generation of twin-turbocharged 3.5-liter V6 engines, paired with an advanced hybrid system in select models. The standard V6 twin-turbo puts out a staggering 420 horsepower with over 650 Nm of torque. That alone would be enough to crush the competition. But the hybrid variant takes things even further, boosting combined power to nearly 450 horsepower while dramatically improving fuel efficiency, up to 25% better than the outgoing model. Imagine that: more power, less fuel consumption, and fewer emissions, all in a vehicle that weighs well over 2 tons. Transmission duties are handled by a 10-speed automatic gearbox, seamlessly delivering power to all 4 wheels through Toyota's legendary 4-wheel drive system. And speaking of 4-wheel drive, Toyota has gone all out. The 2026 Land Cruiser is equipped with a cutting-edge multi-terrain select system, crawl control for rock crawling at low speeds, and cameras that give you a 360-degree view of your surroundings, including underbody perspective so you can literally see the rocks and obstacles beneath your tires. Add in adaptive suspension, locking differentials, and torque vectoring, and you're looking at a vehicle that can climb mountains like a goat but still cruise down highways as smooth as a luxury sedan. Now, let me keep the interior part short, because I know what you really care about is power, toughness, and price. Inside the 2026 Land Cruiser, you'll find luxury mixed with utility. Plush leather seats, a massive 14-inch touchscreen with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, premium sound from JBL, and loads of space for 7 passengers and all their gear. Yes, it's luxurious, but Toyota has made sure the buttons are still big, still easy to use even with gloves on, because they know Land Cruiser drivers take their vehicles to places where tiny touchscreens just won't cut it. That's all you really need to know about the cabin, functional luxury at its best. Now, let's get to the shock factor, because I promised you something that would leave your jaw on the floor. The price. This is the part that will either make you sit up straighter or sink back in disbelief. The 2026 Toyota Land Cruiser will start at around $65,000 in the United States, which translates to about 244,000 Saudi riyals. That's just the starting point. Fully loaded versions, with all the luxury and hybrid power, will soar past the $100,000 mark. That's over 375,000 riyals. Can you believe it? For a Land Cruiser, once seen as the working man's ultimate tool, it has now crossed into luxury territory that puts it shoulder to shoulder with Range Rovers and Mercedes G-Wagons. But here's the twist. While those luxury SUVs may outshine it in glitz, the Land Cruiser still holds one unbeatable trump card: reliability. People are willing to pay these high prices because they know this vehicle will outlast almost anything else on the road. Driving the 2026 Land Cruiser is an experience unlike any SUV on the market. On the highway, it glides effortlessly thanks to adaptive air suspension and soundproofing that cancels out wind and tire noise. Take it off-road, and you'll instantly remember why the Land Cruiser is legendary. With one switch of a dial, you can tackle sand dunes, rocky trails, and muddy tracks like they're nothing more than speed bumps. The crawl control system practically drives the SUV for you over tricky obstacles, while hill descent control keeps you safe on steep declines. Even in snow and ice, the traction systems work seamlessly to keep you moving. It's not just marketing hype, this is engineering perfected over decades of real-world use. And safety. Toyota has pulled out all the stops. The Land Cruiser 2026 comes with Toyota Safety Sense, which includes adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assist, automatic emergency braking, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, and even a driver attention monitor. Add to that a high-strength body structure and multiple airbags, and you've got an SUV that doesn't just conquer terrain, it protects its occupants like a fortress. So, is the 2026 Land Cruiser worth it? Let's be honest, the price tag is shocking, and it may scare off some longtime fans who remember when the Land Cruiser was affordable and simple. But Toyota knows their audience. They know that there is a dedicated following who would rather spend six figures on a Land Cruiser than on a German luxury SUV, simply because the Land Cruiser is proven. It's not just about luxury, it's about trust. And trust, once earned, lasts forever. The 2026 Land Cruiser represents a bold step forward, blending tradition with innovation. It hasn't abandoned its roots, but it has evolved to meet the expectations of a modern world that demands power, efficiency, technology, and luxury all in one package. This is more than just an SUV, it's a promise that no matter where life takes you, deserts, jungles, snowstorms, or city streets, this vehicle will get you there and bring you back safely. And now, as we wrap up this epic deep dive into the 2026 Toyota Land Cruiser, I want to leave you with one thought. This SUV is not just about the present, it's about legacy. It's about passing down a vehicle from one generation to the next, a symbol of strength, reliability, and adventure. If that resonates with you, then the Land Cruiser is not just worth the money, it's priceless. Thank you for sticking with me through this full exploration of the 2026 Toyota Land Cruiser. If you enjoyed this review, if you learned something new, or if you were shocked by the price reveal just like I was, then make sure you hit that subscribe button to Power Ride right now. Turn on the notification bell, because we have even more shocking reviews coming your way. Cars you think you know, but we'll uncover the truths no one else dares to tell you. This is Power Ride, where the ride never ends, and I'll see you in the next video.